Okay, so we are going to move on to this room. It is so cute with the bunk beds. And here's our tree. We're going to decorate this tree in nautical themed things. So this just gives you a little bit of a look at some of the pieces and decor that we're going to be using for our tree. And this is a kids' room. So we want them to have a good Christmas as well. So let's get right to it.
Hi, I'm David, and welcome to all of my videos about how to decorate Christmas trees, garlands, things of that nature. Today we've had so many people ask us about tree topper bows that I'm going to demonstrate one of those for you. So first thing you have to do is you have to pick ribbon, and right now we're actually working on a nautical themed tree, so we're using red, kind of a net ribbon, and we're using this blue and brown. It gives it a little bit of a natural feel. And we have two options really. We can choose to either tie this at the same time, which is what I normally do, but for most of you it would probably be easier to not go this route where we actually tie this at the same time, because some of you may be novices at tying ribbon all together. So instead of going with my normal, I'm going to make loops that are out of both ribbons at the same time, I'm going to teach you how to do the simple method of tying two different ribbons together. So for that, what we're going to do is we've got a 4-inch red jute net ribbon. And we're going to tie it first. Since it's wider, we're going to make bigger loops with it. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Is instead of starting small like I normally do, I'm going to start a little larger. So I'm actually going to go about 7 or 8 inches out for my initial first few loops. So we're going to twist that together, and you can look at our other videos about how to tie a ribbon. I know I'm going through this kind of fast, but this is just a how to tie a tree topper. So we're actually going to do 3 loops on each side, and you may need scissors for this, and one thing you will definitely need is some kind of wire. I use different kinds of floral wire. You can use decorative wire. It's really up to you. So we're going to twist that together as tight as we possibly can. Scissors. We're going to cut the wire off a little shorter, and we're going to lay that one to the side. Okay, so we've tied our larger set. Now we're going to go in and tie our smaller bow, because this one's going to set inside of the other one. So we're going to tie smaller loops with this one, because we want to be able to see both at the same time. So we're going to tie 2 smaller loops. We're going to get a little bit bigger on the next couple. Right here. And we're going to do the same thing that we did on the other. 3 loops on each side. The 2 on the inside are a little bit smaller. That's really the only difference. And then we're going to cut that. I'm going to leave about 15 inches here as a bit of a streamer, and then we're going to need wire again. We don't need very much wire for this one, and I will show you why in just a second. So we're going to cut this one pretty short. Wire is only about 4 or 5 inches long right there. So this is our bow. And that is what we end up with. the red one, this is the bow that we made. So the loops are noticeably larger. And the reason for that, like I said, is that the blue ribbon is gonna sit inside the red ribbon. But we still want to be able to see the red, and we're just going to use that smaller piece of wire that we cut to tie that on the back of the red, and we can use the longer pieces that we made on the red for the actually attaching that into the tree. So a lot of people ask me about tying tree topper bows. You know, how many yards do they need? It's all kind of subjective, but one thing I do not like to do usually is to make one massive bow and just stick that on the front of your tree, and you have this, you know, bow that sticks out 36 inches wide. It's you know, 20 inches deep, and it makes your tree look really front heavy. Because your bow won't go all the way around. So what I normally do is I will tie 2 to 3 of these and distribute these around the top of the tree. And when I say the top of the tree, I'm still going to add a few stems to the top. So I put it close to the top. I'm not going to put it exactly all the way at the top of the tree. I'm going to position it a few inches lower. And like I said, I can put this off to one side a little bit because I have room for another bow on this other side. Okay, as you can see, I have already made a second bow. More convenient for you. You don't have to sit there and watch me tie another bow. I've also added ribbon throughout the tree. If you have questions about how to do that, you can look at our how to add ribbon to a tree video. Look at our channel for other how-tos. But this is why I prefer to add a second bow. As you can see, I have this massive gap back here. My ribbon kind of goes throughout the whole tree, but I have this big open spot. And even for this slim tree that I have right here, I have this big open space in the back, and I don't really want that. So I'm going to add my second bow back there, and because this is such a slim tree, I don't really need a third, but I did need my second bow. And that kind of fills in my space here, because I will add a few stems to the top of my tree and so on. But that's really where I get to as far as how to do a tree topper, because I want it to be nice and balanced all the way around the tree. I don't want that giant poof on the front. Okay, if you are just here to see the how to do a tree topper bow, you're pretty much finished here. But if you want to see how our nautical themed tree finishes up, my wife and I are going to start decorating the tree, adding the stems and ornaments and everything to that. Stick around and you can see the rest of it. For everything else, be sure to subscribe to our page and to our YouTube channel, and look at all of our other videos.
Hey guys, Jennifer here with David, and basically he's going to decorate the tree and I'm just going to assist him and be comic relief as needed. Okay, and maybe speak loudly when he turns his back and says things that you can't hear.
Because I'm a low talker.
He's a low talker. Okay, so what are you adding first? It looks like
we're gonna add this gray Scotch pine stem.
See, I kind of have the Vanna White job where I just hand him the items that he needs to put on the tree. So this is a Scotch pine stem, and all these stems can be bent, so you can place them however. These are already pre-bent because we have used them before on this particular tree.
Much easier second time around.
Yes, much easier the second time around. They
Just
store
not
nicely.
having to take the tags off of it saves a lot of time.
Yes. So when you get ready to take these things down, you can actually just store them in a plastic bag, maybe in a tote, to separate them from some of the other stems so they're not tangled. Make sure when you're storing any of your stems and your Christmas items that you are avoiding extreme temperatures like heat and cold, because that will affect the glue on your products, and when the glue is damaged, things start to fall apart, and we don't want that.
Correct.
So just got a couple more of these, or no, we have more. We have a lot more of these to add. We'll get more. I've returned from the woods with my bundle of Scotch pine stems.
You just never know. Next, we're going to start with this is a pine, and it's actually got a little bit of a jute pine with a natural weave rope ball right here. You can see how that is a kind of a woven ball that fits really well in with our nautical theme and our tied knotted up pieces. Sailor's knots and so
tying
forth.
in more of the red.
I know red and blue is not typically something that we do a lot of, but it works really well.
Especially for this room, yeah.
Ralph Lauren Nautical Yacht Club kind of feel.
Can you say Ralph Lauren in the video?
I don't know. Maybe he won't mind.
We are not being paid by Ralph Lauren to say anything.
All rights are reserved by those responsible parties.
Yes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these left. How many have you used already?
I do not know. I just used them until they're gone.
I think we started out with about 10 or 11 of these guys.
Very well planned and thought out.
You just go with what looks good, like he tells you in all the videos. That's what I've learned. You just go with what looks good. It doesn't matter.
And more is always better. Those two things will go really far.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have too few, that can look really bad. But you have to make sure things are balanced. That's why having more is better than not having enough. Because if it appears that you put them all, if you only had 2 stems and they're right here, there's no balance to your tree. Now that we've added the last one of that stem, we're moving on to something else, keeping in our coastal theme. We are using, get them kind of untangled. Starfish are a little tangly. This wooden disc, these are actually dyed blue and white, cut pieces of natural tree branch. You can see a little bit of the rings on them, and there's little starfish, different shapes. Those work really well in our theme also here. The white kind of lightens it up a bit, and the blue works with our red, white, and blue. But these are very hard to obtain from my wife. The wood discs are a little bit heavy, so you have to be sure that you've got them far enough in the tree that they stay where they're intended. Otherwise, they might slide out. Because it's natural wood, it's got some weight to it. Assist. Sometimes they're just right there.
Sometimes they are. Well, I'm having to give them to you one at a time to keep them from being all tangly.
They are a tad tangly.
Convenient.
It is. It's where I normally store my wire cutters and scissors. But apparently right now I'm quick on the draw with stems.
I'm working myself out of a job.
Yeah.
Okay. So while he's finishing that up, the next step will be to add our ornaments, correct?
Correct.
So I'm going to get those. I found some lovely Mercury blue. What size would you say these are?
These are 150 millimeters.
150 millimeters, what he says. And these are going to make a great addition to the tree. They take up quite a bit of space, and we need some larger items because a lot of the things that are on the tree, show you a little closer view. A lot of the things are a little small. So as you can see, he's going to add those in. Last two. Make good use of these.
Where would we find any more?
DavidChristopher's.com. I can say that on the video. Okay. What about the fish? Would you like to do the fish next?
Yes.
So these are wooden fish with a little jute twine wrapped around them and a jute hanger. And we have 6 of these guys. So wherever you think they will look great.
How about there?
Fantastic. We're a little delirious and tired. It's 10:30 p.m. This is tree
Still
number
going.
what? 4. This is tree number 4 for the day.
That's
So-
not including garlands and
Yes,
mantelpieces.
including some garlands and mantelpieces that we have done. But we are having a great time, even though
we've been up since
Yeah.
5:30.
we've been up, up since 5. It was actually before 5 when I woke up. But you kind of were lazy and laid there a little bit longer
I
than
tried
me.
to go back to sleep, but you wouldn't let me. Little cord balls. Who said baseball wouldn't come in handy in the workplace?
Oh!
That was a curveball. A few floats.
Everyone needs these, right?
Yeah.
In the real boating world.
If you're gonna boat, you need some.
I would like to have a boat. Just throwing that out there. You gonna get me a boat?
I don't know where you're gonna put it.
Did you see me driving a boat?
Into another boat or
Okay. We have a few more small items to add. Just a couple of little lifeguard chairs, some
Because
paddles.
you must have safety even on a Christmas tree in the ocean.
Yes, safety first. So he's going to add the last final details, and then we will show you the finished product of our nautical tree this Christmas. The tree is finished, and it is an excellent addition to this room. It goes right along with the nautical theme. I'll give you a close-up view. So we have the tree topper with the 2 bows that David tied and connected at the top. It's actually 4 bows made into 2. And you can take a look at all the nice detail on the tree, all the way down to the tree skirt, which coordinates. And the children that stay in this room are going to absolutely love this tree. Thank you for watching. Come back soon.